Let's get the greatest response we've ever had. Let me be able to come back on television and say,
Double 13, we're on the double 13 mark. And what am I working on? I got these 3 or 4 pictures I got into a show in San Antonio with. It's just going to be kind of like a self-portrait. I'm sitting here looking at my original bone from the
This is original bone from the How to Smoke a Hog Head video. And I always kept this bone and guarded it from my dogs from trying to take it.
Getting really into all the details of this thing, you know, on wood. I like painting on wood better than canvas. You can scrape and cut back. Here my things that I've been working on is called you're gonna take a hit of that shit. Little barbecue rig. And it's just look at that scene right there. Can you guess what's going on in there? That's gonna be one of the paintings up there, and I like the way the shed looks in this area. And speaking of sheds, I found something really interesting over on south of Bastrop on 304. I want y'all to take a look. So I don't know if y'all recognize this place. It says no trespassing on it.
Okay, what I realized is that this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is where they picked up the hitchhikers. There's a gas station. It's real famous, you know, and I started figuring out where it was at a couple years ago, and I've always kept an eye on it. And I always thought to myself, man, wouldn't this be badass if I had the money, I'd go and buy this place and turn it into like a retro. I would actually just return it back to the way it originally looked and just keep it there, you know. And by God, someone's ended up doing it. Someone ended up bought this place, and it's going to turn into like a horror, I don't know, like cabins and barbecue and stuff. And they're going to have bands play. You know, all you got to do is just Google it in Texas Chainsaw Massacre gas station, and it's all over the net. I just figured it out a couple of days ago.
to be a blessing. This is good ground.
If you look at this is the beginning of the end, I guess you could say. I don't know. There's this set I want to make called My Private Barbecues, which I'm gonna, something I'm gonna get into, and I know that this thing will be part of the it's like a self-portrait, you know. And I don't know if y'all can see this thing. It's called Settle Down, Bitches, based on this this whole idea I did. It's called Chicken George Memory and Painter. But I don't really have real folk art memories. I have just memories of partying a lot. If you can see these things, I think it's a good piece. These are going to be in the San Antonio deal. And you know, speaking of another bar I wanted to go profile.
This is called Triple Crown, Texas. Oh, the Triple Crown. I've shot a lot of video at this bar over the years. It's probably the only real original bar that plays really good live heavy metal, punk, blues, everything, country, everything, you know, in this bar. It's like a shady ass, just I don't know what the hell you call it. It allows smoking. It has all my favorites in there. You know, it's just all these characters I've known kind of over the years, starting from like the 90s upwards, and that's when it was formed. I think early or like late 90s. It's a real unique bar for San Marcos, and luckily it stayed alive. Yeah, they were actually gonna. The whole area has changed a lot, and so this developer tried to buy the building, and they want to put like a guy Johnshua's like 11-story apartment, high rise or some crap like that. And luckily, they got out of it. And you know, that's where I shot Boxcar Satan. There's Furley. I don't know if y'all seen this guy. He's been in a lot of my videos. Furley, The Unsurpassed Prophet. Those are paintings that he did, and they're there in the bar. You know, the whole area is like a little culture of characters that I've always enjoyed, and I'm gonna make a painting of that whole bar. Okay, well, one of the controversies that one time I was sitting there at the bar, and I got just arguing with some guy about a contract because they were going to tear the building down. And I told him, said, well, you know, one of the few things valuable about this bar is that they have a refrigerator there with all these band stickers all over the thing. There's the bar's canvassed with tons of stickers. But I told him that that the stickers on that refrigerator door is worth more than any of the refrigerator itself. So yeah, shit's gonna go down. You know, there's 2 more works here called Tan Lines, and this thing called it's called My Private Barbecue.
something I take very seriously. This baby is going to be the end game. I'm at 46 now. And you always have to prepare. I think as an artist, you always have to prepare for your end game, your ending statement, unless something major happens. I'm going to sit down here. Drink my last beer. I actually got one more after this. But the deal is, I think that, I drove into San Antonio early. I put that work in there. I'm sitting there wrestling with what the fuck, like, what do? How do you, this is a big frustration is, any artist, anyone who watches these videos knows that, like, I think the big crime balance, people make stuff, but where do you show it at? How do you develop a career when you live out in the fuck nowhere? And it can become really difficult at times, because you just don't have the opportunity to react and, do shit, and you can pitch shows and try to get shit going, but, sales become sparse, especially depending on what the fuck you make. I was telling some of our friends, I'm just condemned by my tastes, and use my passive aggressiveness just to make what the fuck I want to make. If you can get away with it, I don't know if tan lines and chickens have the same sort of effect. Who the hell's gonna buy that? But so what? It's like I said, I always treated this stuff when I started doing art way back there. Back in '89, '88, '87, in that area. I always said to myself, just do what you want. And that's about all you can really. It's the only thing that's guaranteed in any of this crap, And so, thank God I have to make a painting. There's no other reason to. My battery's not dying. I got these lithium guys. These things are. This is so fucking funny. I want y'all to see this right here. Look at this hat. I want you to see something I just found on Shopping Spot. Made this by painting by a dumbass. He's admitting it right there. See who wrote that? Check this out. Puts hope in bed. He's all OCDing on who's bidding on his shit. He's admitting it finally. He's crashing. Red's crashing finally. He's admitting he's a dumbass. Corny mud paintings.
And these people that are going to be judging your work didn't even know the difference between SpongeBob and Pinocchio 6 months ago. And they're going to be judging your work. Doesn't that bother you one bit?
I don't really take their opinions too seriously. So this need that they're going to judge me, I don't find that.
So you're just a whore. That's it. You're just a whore. You'll have a show wherever you want to have a show because you're a whore. You're a whore. Admit it. You're a whore.
I like having shows. I don't know if that makes me a whore.
But I would not have a show at a place where people didn't know the difference between SpongeBob and Pinocchio 6 months ago. I would rather not have that show.
And that is the love gift of the month.